Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Sumera Abdi, and with me is my colleague Prashant. Well, for now, the market has come off significantly from the earlier high that we saw during the day. So the Nifty is just about holding on to that 11,900 mark. But, you'd have to say that since noon, even though we've come off, we're now maintaining that. So we're pretty stable in that sense. The Midcap Index also seeing about a 0.25% rise. What's not doing well is really a clutch of auto stocks, banking stocks. That's not doing well. Z Entertainment too has lost about 4% but nevertheless, overall it looks like it could be just about a down to stable day for now. Let's see how the rest of the day shapes up. But first up, let's take you through our top stories. Market gives up morning gains to trade near the day's low. Sensex and Nifty see modest gains, but metal stocks rise on the back of optimism over a possible trade deal between the US and China. Infosys gains after the company clarifies to an exchange query on the 24th of October that it was not obliged to make any disclosure as the anonymous allegations couldn't be termed credible and concrete. As said, it has not received any evidence to date to corroborate the allegations. Yes Bank recovers over 15% from lows after the management tells CNBC-TV18 that they will announce details of a binding bid in a few days. Ravneet Gill says the worst is over and they will want to quickly raise capital and move on a growth path. Auto stocks are the top losers today. Hero Motors subdued after reporting a drop in sales in October, the steepest fall seen in medium and heavy commercial sector. Ashok Leyland sales halved in the same month. Tata Steel gains today after N. Chandra tells CNBC-TV18 that they will simplify the Tata Steel Group structure significantly. Tata Motors, however, trades weak. The Tata Group chairman says the next 2-3 years will be tough for JLR.
Okay, so those are the top stories that we're tracking at 1:30 on Midcap Radar. Samira, hi, afternoon. Let's just take a quick look at what Europe is doing as well, and then we move on with what ideas are our technical experts sort of putting out there. So we'll have the FTSE, the DAX, the CAC 40, etc., all up on your screen, and that should give us further indication of whether the market weakens a bit more or perhaps holds on. For now, it's about 27 points, far cry from where the market was up at one point in the day. We were up almost 100 points. So, this is a fraction of that left on the screen. Actually, European markets are all higher, but nothing large. A third of a percent to about 0.4, 0.5% at max. As I said, technical sort of trades right now. Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking is with us with exactly that. Ruchit, thank you for your time. Good afternoon. A big drop and no real pullback as of yet. It may still happen. But would you bet on it? Would you take positions?
Hi, very good afternoon, Prashant. Prashant, if you see, although we have corrected about 70-80 points from the high, but as of now, it doesn't seem to be a cause of worry because it's just because the 12,000 mark was a psychological resistance. So we have seen some dip from that level. But frankly, if you look at stock-specific momentum, the market breadth still continues to remain very strong in favor of advances, which is a positive sign. Immediately on an intraday basis, 11,880 to 11,900 is a good support for the Nifty. And since we have already corrected from the higher end, I think this dip provides a good opportunity to create fresh longs over here. At current levels, we are recommending our clients to go long through options. 11,950 call option, which is right now trading around 55 rupees. That could be bought with stop loss below 33.20, expecting target around 92 in either in today's trading session or by tomorrow.
Ruchit, what would you trade with stocks?
So I have a couple of mid-cap names on my radar. Most of the thing that we are looking at is to look at the stocks which are giving breakout from a consolidation phase. And CESC is one of those stocks which last 10 to 15 trading sessions have shown some consolidation post and up move. This has led to formation of a bullish flag pattern on the daily chart, and prices are on the verge of breakout from that bullish flag pattern. So one can go long from a short-term perspective with stock below 791, near-term targets around 865. And similar sort of consolidation breakout we are witnessing even in Kajaria Ceramics. In the entire month of September, the prices have moved higher. Then the month of October, we have seen some consolidation phase around its 200-day moving average, which just seemed to be a time-wise correction within an uptrend. Now, last two trading sessions, the prices have indicated maybe a resumption of the previous up move. So we are recommending to go long on Kajaria Ceramics as well from the mid-cap space, keeping stock below 541 for target around 615.
All right, Richard, thanks very much for joining in with your afternoon trades. We'll take a quick break. As we do that, we'll leave you a word from Andrew Holland of Avendus Capital Alternate Strategies on his market outlook. And he says that 12,500 on the Nifty is not ruled out in the short term.
Emerging markets will see heavy inflows, and India will be included in that. And secondly, and more importantly, I think this will lead to the dollar weakening going forward, and I think that's another catalyst for emerging markets. So, the tailwinds are very, very strong for emerging market flows. And whilst India is not the biggest beneficiary of a global trade deal in terms of exports, obviously will get dragged up with the amount of money that comes into emerging markets. So I think 12,500 Nifty should be an achievable target in the short term. The dollar will weaken, and therefore if emerging markets are going to be the place where you're going to see a bigger kind of upturn in terms of growth, then flows are just going to follow through there. So I think it's more to do with that. I mean, if I think about the deficit in the US, I mean the dollar should be a lot weaker anyway. So I think that the flows and the risk on trade will probably continue for till the end of the year, and that augurs well for. I think I'm not saying that we're going to be an outperformer within emerging markets, but because of the weightage, we're going to get a fair share of that inflow, and that's what's going to propel our market to new highs.
Let me once and for all get you to clarify on the rumors, as I said, that keep coming back on JLR and whether you're looking at putting JLR on the block. Is there any truth to that?
I have said no. We are trying to see whether we can optimize our capex investments. We need to get more bang for the buck. The issue here is not another $1 billion. That is not the problem. Our problem is not capital. Tata Model Group has a lot more value than the stock price indicates, but market has its own way of showing rewards and confidence.
Yeah.
We are not here to sell the company and get out. We are building this company.
Right.
So I have patience, and I will navigate this.
क्या आपको इंडिपेंडेंट फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर बनना है? आपको चाहिए होगा एक ऑफिस, स्टाफ, रिसर्च,